Guys, there's a huge influx of money coming tomorrow, guaranteed, and this will change the landscape for crypto and will potentially get us out of this massive downtrend that we are still stuck in. So if you want to know what that is and what I'm seeing happening by tomorrow, then definitely stick around here and let's go. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in here again on this Monday. I almost thought it's Tuesday. So when we are getting here straight into the DXY chart, I know some people said yesterday there is a holiday in the US. Yes, there is, but the DXY is still open. So we see here a small bounce right now happening just around the market opening at 106.5 points. But this is, in my opinion, only short-lived. Might even today already turn around here in a couple. Let me think about this, in like 3.5 hours, because we are pre-market right now. So if the stock market is also open, like the DXY is open, and then we should get here a further reaction in the coming hours and see where this is leading to. But overall, I still expect here more downwards pressure on the DXY. So CME futures chart did not really create a CME gap. So I was expecting here, as you can see here, between these two lines to get a CME gap, but that did not come into fruition. The price just pumped to the upside and from there directly back to the downside, so that we actually did not get a CME gap. And now we are trading below this downward sloping trend line. Here we are kind of playing jumping rope with it. Once we get here a clearer picture, then we know if we either go straight to the upside or to the downside, but there might be also some other indications that we're going to talk about here in a minute. So the reason why tomorrow we're going to get between 17 and 18 billion dollars of inflow is that if DX finally starts the repayment tomorrow, so and within 60 days, they're going to repay all their creditors. So that means, of course, these $18 billion will not be completely released in one go by tomorrow. It's more or less, what is that, $300 million per day that they are going to release to creditors and giving them their money back in the asset that they were holding on FTX. So now I know a lot of people think, oh yeah, but what if they're going to sell? These are smart people, guys, most of them, at least now, because of FTX, sometimes there's also positive sides to an event like that. They go and study then what actually happened, educate themselves about the markets, and they start to understand, okay, there's a 4-year cycle. We are just at the beginning of a massive bull run. So I ask you, would you sell when you know that the bull run is maybe 50% done and you sell the best part of the bull run before it actually happens? That doesn't make sense. So, and that is also what major analysts across the board are saying, not only me, that most of the people, based on a survey that was done, are actually going to hold the money that they are receiving from the repayment and not going to spend this. So, and here you can see one of the wallets still has also here over $1 billion in it. They did not touch it yet for major transfers. Here alone is like over $500 million worth of almost 600 million worth of FTT in that wallet. Then the next position is Maps. Never heard about this project. Media, and also some more well-known coins like here Render, Ample, USDC, here Serum, Solana. They are still holding all these coins. So they actually hold quite a lot of coins when you look at that. So, but the good thing is also here, the amount of coins is limited, and that is also creating a more centralized pressure these coins to go to the upside when people understand, okay, they're actually not selling. There's maybe like, I don't know, 10-20% that actually going to sell, and the rest is keep holding their positions. Now, when we go into the Bitcoin chart, also here we see here now at least a short-term bounce to the upside on a 12-hourly chart. We still have 2 hours left before that candle is closing. If we close the candle as it is, I would expect a potential bounce candle here to the upside back to like $97,600, just based off the MACD and the RSI. Both are slightly pointing here to the upside, while the stochastic is cooling down, which is to be honest, a good sign that the stochastic is coming down here and cooling down. But we need to reclaim here in the next coming days point of control on the VPVR around $97,200. If we are not able to manage that, let's say in the next 36 hours-ish, then you should be prepared that we most likely come one more time down to the bottom of the range here to $93,000 before we get a move to the upside, which is also coinciding with what I said just yesterday. So here on the MDX algo scalp gradient, you can see that we're entering another green phase. That is, in the grand scheme of things, also not really bad. I have seen this multiple times where we put 2 green phases in, and that is basically then your bigger picture bottoming pattern, and then you get the continuation to the upside. Here on the reactor indicator, the same thing. We are cooling here down currently, but it is still looking like that we are getting here a bigger turnaround in the next, like I also, when did I mention that? Like 8 days, like 3 days ago, 4 days ago, where I said in the next 7 to 10 days, I definitely expect Bitcoin to return above $100,000. And I still stand with that, So here you can see on the 4-hourly chart, the major level to reclaim is around $98,000. Once we have broken above that level from a technical perspective, we should get a nice squeeze into the $100,000 mark. On ZoomX, now I cannot log in here, but on ZoomX, my trade is still running, also still in profit, guys, and I also will still keep adding to it if we come here to like $93,000. So don't be mistaken here. I will not close anything. Keep adding to it. If you want to trade on ZoomX, guys, there is a link in the description and in the pin comment below. Remember, this is the best non-KYC exchange that's out there. I know the team and everybody, so make sure that you have an account there, because a new challenge is coming soon where we are taking another account from. So I go from 100K to 1 million again. You can choose whatever you want, like $100, 500, 1,000, doesn't matter. And we're going to 10x that account together the same way that I did this here the first time. So now when we're looking at the 4-hourly chart, the liquidation map, here we get now a way clearer picture already what's going on. As you can see here, we have started to liquidate the long positions. That was exactly what I said yesterday, that we will come down here to most likely 95, to the bottom of $95,000. So if we would have done that, we would have liquidated all the over leveraged long positions that were in the market. So and now we are slightly moving to the upside, but I still see here the potential that we come here down, all the way down, to liquidate all of them to $94,800, and only then get that pump here to the upside to liquidate and all the shorts that have built up over the last couple of days here. The liquidation heat map is also more or less in alignment with that. We have here one concentrated area around $95,200. And once that area is gone, there's not much anymore where we can drive the price down to. And then we will start moving up and start liquidating everything that's basically sitting just above our heads here, which is $98,970, $99,200, and from there triggering short squeezes above $100,000, and then you can see already that goes all the way up to like almost $110,000, which will also be then a new all-time high for Bitcoin. So here on Bybit, again, I'm not hiding this. You see here my position massively in a loss, but I keep holding it because my liquidation price is like $88,000. So even if we go down to $93,000, I can still hold this position, can still add to this position on the way back up. And also here, just on the 30-minute charts, potentially forming here a small rounding short-term bounce or bottom, from which we get another move here back to all the way up to like $97,500, $600 approximately. There I would potentially assume that we get here a smaller pullback again. So if you're looking for a short-term trade, a scalp trade, that might be a good setup. If you want to be safe, get in at like $96,300 with a 30-minute candle close, and then trade this all the way up here. So which level is this? This is roughly, $97,500. There you're going to take your profit. So if you want to make money on this, good money, you have to use high leverage, guys. So, but be careful with that. Be careful. Now, the dominance is falling to the downside. The Bitcoin dominance, you see this also here. Of course, today, the majority of the coins, they're all green. They're not insanely in profit, but some of them are, like here, Lido and RV. Also, SXP came back out of its grave. Celestia, GRT, ZRX, and also Curve, and also Aptos moved nicely here to the upside today. So, but overall, we are not looking that bad here if we continue like that over the rest of the day. So there could be also still a little bit further continuation to the downside before we get at some point a small bounce again in the dominance. But for now, it looks really good that we are getting here a little bit more continuation after we had here this crazy blow off top in the Bitcoin dominance. So also here, on the total free market cap, our trajectory that I laid out here weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, was when I was laying this out. As you can see, we are following this here to the T. By the weekend, we should be back in that former support range that will act now as resistance from 940 $940 billion to $980 billion roughly. If we can hold this range here and consolidate within it for a couple of days, then you're going to get here a nice pop into the next range over $1 trillion. And from there, as you know, we're going to get a new all-time high in the total free market cap. So Ethereum also breaking out here today. That is one of the reasons why many altcoins are doing well today, because as you can see here, we are testing the top of the range, $2,766. If Ethereum can manage to break through that here with the next 4-hourly candle close, then be ready for some fireworks, because the next stop will be all the way up here at $3,000. So that is roughly a 10% move for Ethereum. That is also a really good trade setup that you can take here if we are seeing this playing out. Just let me get this down. 9% move here, more or less, from current levels there. So we will stop loss, I would say I would put this here like 2.8% of a stop loss. So that's absolutely fine. So if you put only 10x leverage on that, it's almost 90% that you make on this trade, and that most likely even today, not by tomorrow, in the best case scenario. In the worst case, potentially tomorrow, but it will be fairly quickly be happening. Then Solana also finally bouncing off here the $180 level back to the upside, coming to our entry that I had given you originally. So I actually took this trade myself on which accounts I did this? On BitGet and on, because I took this trade on, also on Bybit on another trading account. So yeah, so I took this trade myself on 2 accounts here. So, and here, as you can see here on the 4-hourly chart, the stochastic is finally pointing to the upside, MACD shifting momentum, RSI shifting momentum. So here we should be able to see a nice pop over the next coming hours to the upside. That could go all the way up to like $200, $205. There I would expect a short-term rejection, some consolidation, and then continuation in the following days. I'm not going to talk too much about altcoins currently, but I'm going to go into Aptos, because Aptos is one of the ones that we can trade right now. So I had given you this trade setup a couple of days ago where I said if we get like above $5.99, that's where I would enter. So if you're currently not in that trade, wait potentially here with the 4-hourly close coming up in 1 hour 44. If we get here a pullback of like 1% back to close to the $6 mark, and then you can actually enter this. Or if you want to play it really safe and potentially miss it if it starts running, then you just wait for a candle that is pulling back to the downward sloping trend line, enter it from here, and on the bounce you have then confirmation that this is confirmed broken as resistance and that we are moving now into higher levels. That's how I would play this. Guys, that's it already for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I have to run again. Make sure that you smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you with more profits tomorrow.